This is a very cute little bag that you can actually make because you know all the stitches needed to make it. Now, reading a pattern can be a little difficult, and this might come later after you're better practiced at your stitches, but it's actually pretty simple once you learn the trick. So most patterns are going to tell you what you're going to need, like maybe what kind of yarn that you might need in order to obtain the gauge. And the gauge is just like the size of something, and you don't really need to worry about that because, again, I do most of my purses with that Fantasy Natural yarn, which is a great size for most of these types of things. So it'll say you're going to need 1 skein, meaning a ball of yarn, and that you're going to need a button, a size E hook, or another size if you're doing it smaller, a tapestry needle, which you have, a steam iron, and some scissors. Okay, so then it's going to tell you what the finished measurement should be right here, and it's going to tell you what the gauge is. So that means 5 stitches per inch. Now, you can just get a ruler and you can measure your stitches per inch on the ruler. Or it would be 2 rows, right? 2 rows of stitches per inch. And then the stitches used: chain, you know that one, a single crochet, and a double crochet. So you can see they're using abbreviations for each one of these stitches. So CH just means chain, SC means single crochet, and DC means double crochet. So this is actually your first line of instructions for this particular pattern. And it may look a little weird because they like to abbreviate everything just to make it easier to write down. But that's why it's just the trick of learning how to read it. So it's going to say BEG. That means begin at the top flap. So that cool little pattern that you see right there where they have, you know, for the flat part, that's what they're talking about. So we've learned about foundation chains, right? So we're going to do a chain 23. So CH, remember, meaning chain. You're going to chain 23 and turn the work, and you know how to do that. And then row 1, you're going to add 1 chain after you've turned, and then you're going to put in a single crochet into the second chain from the hook, HK, right? And you've done that before. That's everything that you learned how to do in a single crochet. And then each CH chain across, right, turn. So you're going to put a single crochet in each chain across your whole line. Right? And then you're going to turn, and you should have 23 STS means stitches total. So then your second row, they're going to tell you to chain 3, CH3, and skip 2 stitches. All right, then you're going to, and these brackets mean that you're kind of making a whole stitch into 1 stitch. So into 1 stitch. And that's a little difficult, but when we get there, I'm going to show you how to do this. So you're going to double crochet, chain 1, and then another double crochet into 1 stitch, into the next stitch, as in the photo, right? So into 1 stitch, they've put all of the stuff, so you can see it kind of has made a little V there, right? So then you're going to do that 7 times, right, in each stitch after that. And then you're going to turn the work, and you should have 22 stitches total, and you remember how to count those up. Then your row 3, you're going to chain 2, right? And then you're going to single crochet and double crochet, right? So again, that means into 1 stitch 11 times, and then you're going to turn, and you should still have 22 stitches total. Then you're going to repeat row 3 until the fabric is 12 inches long, right? So that's the whole body of the purse itself. And then you're going to weave in the ends, like how I showed you how to end and tie off and hide the end yarn, okay? And then it shows you how to make the shoulder strap, which is chaining 160, right? And this is a slip stitch in the back half of each stitch. See photo, right? And like I said, when we get there, I'll explain these other two, because this is one thing that you haven't done the slip stitch, right? And then you get to keep going, and they're going to tell you how to put the bag together, and you're going to learn more about how to kind of finish things off later. So this is actually something that you're able to do. You could actually even just do this entire bag in single crochet stitches if you wanted to, right? This stitch, kind of looping them into, makes this kind of pretty pattern that you can see here. All right, then you would attach the little loop, sew the button in, and finish it off, but that's a whole nother thing. But patterns, as you can see, are all different sorts of things. Like here's a scarf, and they're going to explain each particular one. And don't let it scare you, because it's actually really easy once you start learning how to do all of these different pieces.